everyone, welcome back to the channel. Day 10, we travel 147 kilometers from our vacation home near Great Falls at Riverside Cottages to our B&B in Deer Lake. We've been looking forward to this part of the trip as we'll be traveling through the area known as the Gaff Topsail, or as the Newfies call it, Topsail. So we basically traveled right through that oval circle you see here. The topsails themselves are these big outcroppings of rock that raise anywhere between 200 and 400 feet above the surface, and so there's a few of them around here. One's called Main, Mizzen, Gaff, and Fore, and we'll be taking the trail up to the top of the Gaff Topsail itself. It's a pretty cool area. We thought for a little while there felt like we were on Mars. But you can see here how flat and barren it is, and I mean the rocks are the size of school buses. So there you can see Main Topsail off in the distance, and that's just pretty incredible scenery. It was really cool. So not more than a couple of minutes after we turned onto the trail from the chalet, we saw our one and only moose of the whole trip, and it was just a small calf that came out of the woods on the left and trotted down the road in front of us for a bit and disappeared off into the woods, and that was it. Never saw another one the whole rest of the trip. So about 40 kilometers down the trail or something, looked like it was going to rain, so we stopped to put our gear on, found this little clearing in this weird little house out of nowhere. So I'll let my commentary at the time go from here.
All right, so we're close to the Gaff Topsail, and we got what looks like we're going to get rained on, but you never know, so we geared up. And we've stopped at some creepy little house. There's like a tinsel cat hanging from the tree, masks, and if you look over into that house, there's a snowman in this big door, and they've put a mannequin's head, woman's head, in the window. Yeah, kind of creepy.
So the scenery had really started to change here, and you can see the Mizzen Topsail off on the left there, and that's Gaff Topsail where we're headed to the summit up there. And then over to the right here you can see the Main Topsail. And so it was the scenery here was just incredible. It was you have to see it to appreciate it. But it's the same picture I showed a little bit earlier. We took a snapshot of that. But really cool stuff. Love to go through this section again. So after this, we're not too far from the summit, and there is a little old rock quarry that you can go into and play around in. We did go in there. I'm not going to show it because it was raining pretty hard there, so it just looked like wet rock everywhere. But yeah, it's a good little turn off to go in and play around a bit. We went through some big water hole. But anyways, so here's the entrance to the Gaff Topsail. And I figured for this video I'll just sail the whole trail from bottom to top.
Just for the hell of it.
I will say this is probably the most technical trail we did on the trip. There's no problem. It's like fairly steep, but some good rocks, much like trails I do at home. What I will say though is that in one of the past videos when I was talking about the trail up to the Sabina air crash site, it was way harder than this, and the rocks were a lot bigger, so you can just take that for comparison's sakes. knew there was a pad up here, but you just don't see it to the very last moment. Anyway, so here we are at the top. Unfortunately, with the rain and the cloudy skies, it was going to be one of the most scenic, views of the trip, but unfortunately with the rain, it wasn't to be, and the rain did make these rocks that were behind where you park here pretty slick. So Denise had gone ahead to try it, but she said it was really slippery, and there's no way I was going to go up. So anyways, we just had a snack up there and enjoyed the scenes. It was still really nice and warm out, and you could still see lots. There is a little machine down on the trail there, but if you look closely. So yeah, there's you can just hike up those rocks, and there's other videos out there that people have videoed themselves up on top, but definitely worth going. Very cool place. So I know a couple of weeks after we there, a machine broke an axle on the way up and blocked the trail, but oh well. So here we are on our way back down, and we met a group. So apparently we didn't realize this, but what you do is you stay at the bottom, turn your machines off, listen to see if you can hear machines coming down or up. But we definitely didn't, no idea these guys were coming up, and we were lucky enough that Mark had just got ahead of us a bit, and had just met up with them in this wide open part of the trail, as wide as it can get, and so we were lucky to meet them there, and there's no problem getting past one another. But if not, someone's going to have to back up and find a spot to pass, but always good.
Yeah, that's an RMAX, that's the R spec. Near the end? All right.
So we'd eaten half our lunch up at the summit, and then we stopped about an hour later or so on our way to Howley and eat the rest of our lunch. Denise had made us some great roast chicken sandwiches, really good. And here's just another really nice stream. The weather was getting better, so we said, what a great spot. We'll finish our lunch, have a little beer while they had their water, and then as off we go. And next stop was, next town we went through would be Howley. So we're just cruising up, making some time here on a faster trail. that causeway like you just saw. And the trail here, it comes down to a big sandy beach, and you can camp down here. And some other people from past years on Patrick's videos, you see when the waters gets lower, you can actually drive all the way around the lake, and go right around the peninsula, and around the other side that you'll see when we get back onto the trail. So yeah, we came down here, some lads getting ready to camp for the night, so we chatted with them for a little while, took a little bit of a break, and we're on our way again, heading towards the dam.
You want to?
So a dozen kilometers the other side of Howley, you come to, it's called Main Dam. It's considered to be in Deer Lake, though it's still another 20 kilometers to their B&B from here, and I stayed to the high side of the trail, seeing if maybe there was a road open across the top of the dam that we could check out first, but as you can see here, it's all gated off, so I don't know if they ever opened that up or not. I have no idea. So anyways, we just backtrack 100 feet or so here, and then you hang a left and go down, you drive right down at the bottom of the dam. I don't believe they open it very often, maybe once every year or so, if the levels of the lake get high. It's not something that happens all that often, so I hear anyways. dozen more kilometers after the dam, you get to the outskirts of Deer Lake. That's where we are now, and so this is the approved route through town. I'll speed it up a bit here and let you take a look at how they've done it in Deer Lake for the off-road crowds. Pretty cool. Pulling into Lakeview B&B where we would stay for the next 3 nights.
Yeah, it showed
And,
her right up on the corner here.
Our host Maggie, she was great, very accommodating for all our needs in there. So had a nice relaxing evening. We got up the next day and Denise went for a walk down and checked out the lake while Mark and I were going over the machines, and she took a couple of these pictures. When she got back, Maggie had told us this great place to go for fish and chips, so we took the ATV route through the back of town and ended up getting over here. We had a great fish and chip lunch. This food at the fish truck, so it was good. Stuffed our faces. After that, it was back and just relax. And then Mark and Denise went down to the local grocery store and picked up some lobster, which Maggie helped cook, and we had lobster rolls for dinner and made enough for lunch on our way to Cox's Cove the next day. Of course, we had a nice relaxing dinner out in the back deck. It overlooks the lake, and of course, got to finish off the day with a few beers. So it was good. So till the next video, day 12, where we head to Cox's Cove and back. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.